Hi, I'm Kathy and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting, welcome and thank you for stopping by. We're going to have another great evening with a wonderful recipe that I'm making for dinner tonight. And hubby is excited and so am I because it's, I think, the first time I'm making beef lettuce wraps. I've made chicken before, but this will be the first time I'm doing beef. So let's get started. What I've done is I went ahead and prepped everything to save some time here. I have some of this beef that I bought at the store, and it was actually cut up into these little pieces because it said it was good for carne asada and great for tacos, beef tacos. So I thought, wow, since it's already cut up and it saves me a lot of time, again, easy cooking, I'm gonna just take advantage of it and make it into our beef lettuce wraps. I have some carrots that I've cut up in kind of julienne style. I was trying to use my julienne tool thing and I don't know, I just can't get it to work right. And then when I went to the farmer's market yesterday, I got a nice head of cabbage, fresh cabbage, and so I've chopped that up in, as you can see, just kind of chopped them up in thin pieces. I have a good amount of green onions chopped here, and I ran out of fresh garlic, so I had some minced garlic already, a little jar of it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to use that up. I have my reduced sodium soy sauce that I like to use, and sesame seed oil, and I'm going to use the ground ginger. And I'm going to right now prepare the marinade for the beef. So I'll take my soy sauce and I'm going to use a 1/4 cup. Pour that in there. That's one. And I'm gonna, so really a 1/2 cup of the low sodium soy sauce I'm going to use. Now if you prefer using the regular soy sauce, that's fine too, it doesn't matter. It's just my preference to use less salt. So that's a 1/2 cup of the soy sauce, and then I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of sesame seed oil. And pour that in there. I love the smell of sesame seed oil. It just brings back memories of growing up in my mom's cooking Korean food. So I've got a 1 teaspoon of minced garlic here, and since we love garlic, we're going to go ahead with another teaspoon. So 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And then I'm going to I'm not going to really measure the ginger. I'm just going to like sprinkle it on. And a lot of times I do like to use fresh grated ginger. Again, the smell of anything fresh is wonderful. Then I'm going to use some sugar. And I've got 1 tablespoon of sugar. 2 tablespoons of sugar. I forgot to mention that I have about 1 1/4 pounds, 1.2 pounds of the beef. And then we're just going to mix it up here. Meanwhile, also, I have cooking some Korean brown rice. It's in my rice cooker. I went ahead and started that. If you haven't had Korean brown rice, it's really different than regular, brand brown rice. It's lighter, it's a shorter grain rice, it's got a nice mild nutty flavor to it. Oh, the smells so good. I just love the smell of the ginger and the garlic and the sesame oil. And now I'm going to put in, I'm just going to grab a scoopful of the chopped green onions in here. I'm going to save the rest of it for after it's all done, because having just fresh green onions on top of your food just gives a nice flavor to it also. And I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes just so that all the flavors can meld together and kind of marinate the beef well. And then we'll start cooking. So again, it's 1 pound, a little over a pound of the very fine cut beef. You can also use ground beef if you choose with this, or sometimes I've even bought a flank steak and just thin slice the beef and marinate it with the same marinade. The carrots, the cabbage, you can add other things if you wanted to do mushrooms, if you wanted to do chopped up bok choy and things like that. So you could do different vegetables, but I'm just going to do the carrots and the cabbage tonight and the beef. And then we have a wonderful lettuce, which I'll show you in a sec, that I got at the farmer's market also. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, I've got my wok out here. I put in some vegetable oil in here, and it's nice and hot right now. And what I'm going to do is probably start with the carrots, because it'll take a little bit for them to soften. And then I'm going to, I've just got a little bit of garlic. Well, maybe to some people it might be a lot of garlic. To me, it's a little bit of garlic left in this jar here. I'm just going to scoop it out. There we go. Stir this up. Let's turn down the heat to medium. And just kind of let that cook a little bit. You see those skinny little pieces there? That's when I was trying to use my julienne cutter. But I don't know, it got wonky on me and I just said forget it. I'm going to have to look at getting a different one. So that's cooking, and look at this meat. Ah, look at that. It's just soaked up the soy sauce and the sesame oil and everything, and it just smells wonderful. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in here. Scoop all that goodness out. And stir it up. I may have to turn the heat up a little bit to medium high. Like I said, you can use ground beef with this. I've seen that done before. Other things that you can add to this is if I had some water chestnuts, that would add a nice crunch into here too, and I would have added that. But I don't have it tonight. Maybe next time. So we're just going to let this cook. While the meat's over there cooking, I wanted to show you this lettuce that I got at the farmer's market the other day. It's called Calera Crunch. And it's a living lettuce, it says. It's hydroponically grown here in Florida. And the lady at the farmer's market told me, you could see it still has the dirt and the root base on there. This can last for up to a couple weeks in this container, as long as you keep the root base wet. And what I'm going to do is take the little leaves, and I've got to wash these off a little bit, but we're going to take these wonderful lettuce leaves and wrap them with the meat and brown rice mixture when we're ready to sit at the table. But I thought these were just beautiful, and they looked nice and fresh and healthy and yummy. So the meat's really getting brown here. It's cooked, but there's a lot of juice in here, and that'll cook up in a sec. I'm going to go ahead and pour in my cabbage. Get this going here. Oh, the smell is so wonderful. Really, really good and very healthy too. When you consider it's got lean beef and carrots and cabbage and all this, and we're going to wrap them in nice fresh lettuce leaves and have a scoop of brown rice, and I think it's pretty healthy. It smells delicious. I'm going to probably give it a little splash of more soy sauce. There we go. And a little bit more sesame oil. Since I've added all the vegetables, and let that cook. I'm going to turn my heat back up to medium-high. Now if you wanted to add a little bit of spice to this, like some heat spice, you can add a sriracha sauce, or you can add the Korean pepper paste called gochujang, and that would give it a little bit of a bite. And actually, I think I'm going to add a little bit of sriracha. I'm not going to go overboard. Oh gosh, come on. I'm afraid it's going to squirt. Okay, there it goes. Just a little. And then if we want to have it a little bit more spicy, we can add more while we're eating it. But cooking a little bit of it in there. Yep, that smells yummy. Now this meal really didn't take a lot of time to cook at all. Especially when the beef was already cut up, and all I had to do was do the cabbage and the carrots, and I used the diced chopped up garlic already instead of having to peel and chop my own garlic, which I don't mind doing because I do like the taste of fresh garlic. And then putting the rice in the rice cooker. And if you don't have a rice cooker, I would highly recommend getting one because I just love it. I'm going to turn this down just a little and let this cook for a bit. All right, here we go. Dinner is ready. Here is a bowl of the Korean brown rice, and there's some of that wonderful living lettuce that we're having to wrap our wonderful Korean stir-fried beef with with cabbage and carrots, and you see the fresh green onions I chopped up at the end to put on top. We're going to enjoy dinner tonight. It was very easy, and it's going to be very tasty. And until next time, thank you for watching my channel. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can see what's coming up next week. Thanks. Bye.